From about the end of last year, I've been sensing in my spirit God saying to just unplug from social media and just put away some of those distractions and just give Him that time. And I'm 5 days into my 21 social media fast, and it's becoming normal for me. I've had to unlearn a lot of behaviors. I've had to unlearn a lot of habits and just get used to this way of living. And you know what? It's uncomfortable, but it's necessary. I feel like this was super necessary, and I getting more and more understanding. I'm only in day 5, but it just it feels so good to not wake up in the morning and feel like I have to check up on what's going on, the notifications and all that. The floor is really slippery, by the way. Here, look at that. It's all iced up, and today's not the day I'm gonna fall. But so yes, back to my point. Whoa, back to my point. We make up all these habits, right? That we don't even know that we're making, right? So say sometimes you wake up in the morning and it becomes a habit that you check your phone even before you go to the washroom. You check your phone before you eat. You check your phone before you do anything meaningful, right? Over time, that can become a habit. Over time, that can affect even your walk with God, because we're reaching to check our notification, reaching to check our phone before we even spend or give God any time. And I always say, social media is not a bad thing, but it's a terrible, terrible master. Just so you know, I've never vlogged, or at least I've never uploaded a recorded vlog. So be patient with me. And the conditions are pretty bad. It's really cold and the floor is icy. Like, look at that. I'm walking on the sides so I don't slip, right? The idea was to start sharing from day one, but procrastination, doubt, and all of that silly stuff. But let's cut into day 5, join me on my little journey, and I'll see you when next I upload. Good morning. Now, I like to start my day with a cup of coffee. Doesn't really matter if I'm buying it from my favorite coffee store, Second Cup, or I'm making it from home. It's just, for me, it's just a great way to start my day, and that's where I'm headed now. Today, I chose to buy my coffee. Good morning, Danae. You saw my receipt. How are you today? Good.
This for sure is the white chocolate.
Thanks, Danae.
Welcome.
Whew. This is exactly why I love to start my day with a good cup of coffee. Sometimes it's not just coffee, it's espresso mixed in white hot chocolate. And that's what we call mochaccino. We live in an information age, which is a good thing, and we've got all kinds of information at our fingertips, at our disposal. But you would agree with me that a good percentage of the information we consume, whether it be on Twitter, Instagram, you know, Snapchat, you would agree with me that it's not necessary. It won't change your life if you didn't consume it. Yet we waste hours and hours consuming all of this stuff that is not helpful or necessary. Now, I don't want to be a snob because sometimes, you just have leisure time and you're consuming all of that stuff. But the point is, not all information is good information. You and I have fell into the rabbit trail of social media when you just go on this scrolling expedition and you just spend hours and hours and don't even know how you got that. And that's the point, right? How much information is necessary? And cutting all of that in this season for me, I'm just realizing that, oh my gosh, what have I consumed that was toxic, that really didn't edify me, that really didn't help me? And this is the thing, right? We don't understand how much impact it has on us. And for me, it's not just on a emotional or mental level. Like, this is physical. Like, I feel so much better. Now, just because I'm on this social media sabbatical or social media fast, social media detox, or whatever you call it, does not mean I still don't engage in activities like fun leisure activities like watching sports and stuff. But going back, one of the major questions I will be asking myself is, what is necessary? What is leisure? And what is totally unnecessary? And I know what is totally unnecessary will amount to a good 80% of my social media consumption. Skating rink is coming to my neighborhood, and skating is something I've never ever done. But this winter, you might just catch me gliding and sliding. I'm officially a week into my 21-day social media fast, and considering how difficult it was to even have a day off social media or 2 days, this is nothing short of a miracle. I mean, I'm totally ecstatic, and the revelations, the understanding that I'm getting in this season, you couldn't put a price tag on it. A scripture that encapsulates this season of my life is Hebrews 12. It says, "Therefore we also, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith." I find it interesting that it differentiates between a weight and a sin. It says, "Let us lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily ensnares us." Because a weight is not necessarily a sin. I consider a weight as something that hinders you, that kind of just stops you from fulfilling your full potential, something that blocks you from accomplishing all the tasks or the jobs that you could do. And that for me is exactly what social media was, or the overindulgence of social media was. It was a hindrance. It wasn't a sin, but the time spent on it, the reliance on it became a weight. And this season for me is a pause and reset season. I'm just taking a pause, considering how much of a weight it has been, and trying to shed off that weight so that when I get back in it, I can run this race set before me with a little more wisdom and a little more understanding.